Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today is e.l.f. day. I have purchased a whole bunch of e.l.f. products and I bought so much product that I think I'm going to go and break this up into two videos. So the first video will be face products and then the second video will be eye products. The very first item that I bought, and this is the foundation palette, and this is the Fair Light. It was only $2 at Marshall's, which is kind of insane. It's $6 on their website currently. And this is what it looks like. It has a little clasp enclosure. So I have swatched it. I think most of these colors are probably going to be a little bit too dark on me, so I may have to use a color corrector to lighten it a little bit. I also have the e.l.f. Mineral Infused Face Primer, and this is a bestseller on their website. I hear a lot of people raving about this. It's $6 on their website. So here's what the bottle looks like. It's just sturdy plastic, and it does have a pump, which I think is great, especially given the price point. It's clear. It looks like Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. I'm going to go check the ingredient list and see if this has silicone. Based on the way it looks, I'm assuming it probably does, which is okay by me. Silicone makes a great base for applying your foundation. It helps smooth over the look of pores and wrinkles. So the ingredients do say that it does have silicone in it. So if you were trying to avoid silicone, then avoid this. I personally love the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. And like I said, this looks and feels very similar to it. So I can see why it's such a popular item. Next, I'm going to take my foundation palette that is in Fair Light. And here are the swatches, if you can see that at all. And I think the winner is going to be this shade right here. It looks the lightest and like it'll match me the best. So I'm going to take my IT Luxe foundation brush. I'm going to dip in there and I'm just going to start applying it all over. I have heard from the reviews that I read that this has a pretty dewy finish, and I adore dewy finishes, so I'm fine with that. If you have oily skin, a lot of the reviews said that this will disintegrate on you over time once it starts mixing with your natural oil. So if you have very oily skin, I might recommend that you stay away from this palette. And I'm just using light patting motions to apply this. And it looks like it might be a decent match. And I am applying this fairly thick. I am putting at least 2 layers on, maybe more, and then spreading it out. So it does have a little bit of an oily finish to it, which I find interesting. It doesn't bother me because I have dry skin, and so this is not accentuating my dry skin at all, which I appreciate. I do feel like it moves around a lot as I'm applying it, so I'm putting it on, putting a layer on, and then I go to rub it in, and it seems like then the redness starts on my cheek starts popping through again. So I feel like you do have to be careful to do kind of more of a patting motion like this so that you can keep from moving it around too much, because then the coverage isn't as high. I think that's enough product. I'm just going to work it into my face with that tapping motion. Now, if you are hoping that some of those 4 colors are dark enough that you could maybe contour with it or use it as bronzer, you're probably going to be out of luck. They don't vary in color enough to be able to use them for different purposes. I think it's more just to find your perfect match. A lot of people blend those colors to get their perfect match. So next I have my e.l.f. Beautifully Bare Sheer Tint Finishing Powder, but I'm going to use this to set this foundation because it is pretty dewy looking and I don't want it to move around all day. This retails for $6. I got it for $3 at Marshall's. And I really like the packaging. It's that pretty chrome silver packaging. And then it has that little opening. You kind of have to dig your fingernails in there to get it open, which I'm not too crazy about. So you open this up and you have your powder on the top, and then you have a sponge for applying it down there. I prefer to apply powder with my powder brush, so that's what I'm going to do. I have my big giant IT powder brush, and I'm just going to dip into this and gently tap this all over my face. It feels surprisingly finely milled. I didn't expect that because it's a $6 powder, so I thought maybe it would be a little bit coarser. It feels nice on my skin. And it seems like it's doing a good job of mattifying everything. I no longer look dewy that I can tell. So I think I like that powder. I purchased both of these. This is the Baked Highlighter and Bronzer. And this was only $2 at Marshall's. I'll check real fast and see what it retails at on their website. And I also got this Baked Highlighter, but I'm going to use it as a blush because it's very, very pink. This retails for $4. I got it for $2 at Marshall's. And this retails for $3, which is the Pink Diamonds Baked Highlighter, and I got it for $2 as well. This is called Bronzed Glow, in case you're wondering. So the first thing I'm going to do is bronze my face. And I'm going to use I have a hair on my nail. I'm going to use the e.l.f. Angled Blush Brush to put my bronzer on. This has a very dry, chalky texture. I don't know if you can see that. The reviews I read on this said that you might need to get that top layer off to really get down to the pigmented portion of it. Well, no, look, you can see that. That's okay. But there was quite a few complaints on this that it was not very pigmented. And so if you scraped off that top layer, then it would work a lot better. But I'm getting some pigment here, so I'm not gonna worry about scraping that off. I'll be honest, I'm not real crazy about the texture of this. It just feels like chalk. Very dry, not super pigmented. It's considering that I am fair, it's pigmented enough. If you had a darker skin tone, I think you would have a hard time seeing this. Again, this is in the color Bronzed Glow. So they may have darker colors than this. I have not checked their website. I'm really digging my brush into this to try to get any pigmentation. So I think this might be a dud. I'm not sure that I would recommend buying this. I've said this a million times. I'm terrible at telling undertones, but this looks a little red to me. And I'm not real crazy about bronzers that have red undertones or orange undertones. I'm going to take my highlighter e.l.f. brush. This is a very, very popular product. It's one of their best sellers. A lot of people love the way this applies highlighter. I've used it a few times for highlighter, and I think it does do a great job. I don't feel like I'm getting anything. It's right there swatched. And I don't feel like anything is showing up. That's too bad. You know what? I'm gonna try to scrape off that top layer and see if I can get some more pigment. I just used a knife and I just scraped that layer off, and we're gonna see if we get any more. Oh, I think it's gonna work. Oh, but it is so chalky. All right, so I am definitely getting some pigment. So I would recommend definitely take that top layer off with a knife and you will get better pigmentation. It's showing up now, I'm seeing it, it's pretty. It's not a Becca highlighter. It's not a Cover FX highlighter. It is a $4 highlighter. But it's okay. It's okay at that price point. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I don't hate it. Can you see it? I can see it pretty well. I think I got too much actually. This is the Baked Highlighter in Pink Diamonds. I'm actually going to use this as a blush. I read the same comments on the website that you need to scrape off that top layer if you want any hope of getting pigmentation. So I'm going to go do that real fast before I apply it. I'm going to use an e.l.f. Angled Blush Brush to apply this. And I'm just going to put it on the apples of my cheeks just to give me a hint of color. That's a really pretty glow. It would make a beautiful highlighter, especially on a lighter skin tone. That's really pretty. I'm enjoying that a lot. I'm going to apply the Beautifully Bare Satin Lipstick, and it's in a touch of pink. And this retails for $5 on their website, but I got it at Marshall's for $2. I really like the bullet. It's see-through, which is great. If you have this in your collection, you can easily see what color it is. And then there's the bullet. It's just a really pretty pink color. And they weren't kidding. That is just a touch of pink. It is a satin formula, and it feels very moisturizing. It's a really pretty nude color on me, I think. I really like this. I love that. I could see wearing this all the time. I'm curious to see how long it lasts. I also bought from their website this e.l.f. lip lacquer. This retails for only $2 on their website, so I'm really curious to see how it works. It's just basically a clear lip gloss. One of the nice things about e.l.f., especially given their price point, is that they are vegan and they're cruelty-free. It's just a really nice lip gloss, and it's not very sticky. I'm going to be using this constantly. This is wonderful. All of the lip glosses that I have right now, they're just really sticky. I put it on and I feel like my hair gets stuck in my lips, or you press your lips together and it like takes a ton of force to get them apart. And this doesn't feel that way at all. It's very smooth, very creamy. I love this. This may be my favorite product. Wow, that's great. And for $2, I can't believe how inexpensive that is. So this is the final look using all the face products. I also did this eye look using one of the e.l.f. palettes and the e.l.f. primer and some brow pencil. So if you want to see that, I'll link it below. So I will say that I am changing my tune on that highlighter. It's beautiful. I went to the bathroom and looked in the mirror under that lighting, and I could really see how it just glowed. So I think it's important that you scrape that top layer off, and once you do that, you get to that beautiful glowy pigment, and it is beautiful. It is something that I will probably consider wearing more often in the future, and the price point is amazing. So I am going to go run some errands. I gotta do some housework. I'll be back in about 6 hours, and I'll just give you my thoughts on how this is wearing. Stick with me. I'll be back in just a little bit. Hi everyone, I am back after about 6 hours of wear. My kids are going to be home from school soon, so I just wanted to do a quick update for you all. I'll start with the mineral infused face primer. If you are looking for a dupe for the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer, this is pretty darn good. They are both full of silicones, which smooths out your skin. It can help kind of hide pores, hide fine lines, because it fills them in, and then you put your foundation over it, and it just acts as a really nice base. So I would say that this is a very nice product. It's definitely something that I would consider buying in place of the Photo Finish Primer, which is so much more expensive. This is like $4. That Photo Finish Primer is about $36 for an ounce. This is 0.47 ounces, so this is not a full ounce. So really you probably would need to double the price of this to $8 and compare that to the $36 Photo Finish Primer from Smashbox, but that's still a really good deal. So I think this may be a new primer that I will keep in my arsenal to use, especially during the summer months when it's not quite as dry, because right now I'm kind of relying on a hydrating primer just to keep my skin nice and moisturized. The second product that I used was the foundation palette. This was a really good shade match. I was kind of surprised. I thought they were all going to be too dark for me. This is the fair light one, but I found one of these shades, this shade right here, which worked really well for my skin tone. This is a great buy, but keep in mind you only get 0.43 ounces. So while this is inexpensive, you aren't getting a whole lot of product. One nice thing about this palette though is that they sell these palettes in bronzers and in highlighters, and you can, if you look at the back of it, you can actually push these out. And if you were to buy more of these palettes, you could make a customized palette to travel with or to put in your makeup bag. But again, keep in mind that there is not a ton of product with this. As far as wear goes, it has a nice mirror on it, which I think is great. So I'm going to look in that. It is accentuating some of the fine lines on my forehead. It's not terrible. It's not enough to make me not want to wear it. One of the biggest issues that I have with this though is it moves. So I applied this, it looked great. It covered up my redness that I have on my cheeks, but after I set it with powder, when I went to go put my blush on or my highlighter or my bronzer, it rubbed away, even with after setting it. If you have a lot on your face that you want to cover, if you have sunspots, hyperpigmentation, acne, if you have broken capillaries the way I do or rosacea, this may not be the best choice for you because it moves around so much when you are applying products on top of it. It does have a beautiful finish. I'm very impressed by the finish. It's gotten dewier as the day has gone on, even with that setting powder on it, which I like a dewy finish because I have such dry skin. I think it makes my skin look more youthful. Would I recommend buying this? I think I would recommend it if you don't have a whole lot that you want to cover. Pros of it, it does have a really nice finish. It is decent lasting if you set it. I haven't noticed too much fading. For the price, it's a good face palette. And you might want to check it out if you don't have too many imperfections and you have a drier skin type. So I set that foundation with the finishing powder, and this finishing powder is in Fair Light. And I'll be honest, I'm noticing some caking on my face, and I'm positive it's from the setting powder. It seemed like it was very finely milled, but after wearing it for this amount of time, I'm kind of noticing, especially on my forehead, I'm getting, and this is where I tend to get caking from powder, and I am getting some caking there. So I'll probably give this another chance. I'll probably try it with some different foundations and just see what I think. But as of right now, I think that this might be causing just a little bit too much cakiness for me to want to use this on a daily basis. So I don't know that I would recommend this. Bronzer and highlighter. The bronzer is kind of a glowy bronzer, but it's not super glowy. Usually I like to save my glowy bronzers for weekends, but I think that it's not matte, but it's not so glowy that I would be uncomfortable wearing it during the day, say at work. But it's not super pigmented. If you scrape off that top layer, then you'll probably get a little bit more pigmentation. I have a fair skin tone right now. It doesn't show up majorly on me. It shows up a little bit. I haven't noticed a whole lot of fading of it. Still seems like it's there, so it lasts okay. But I just think if you are anything deeper than a medium light, this bronzer may not show up on you at all. As far as a budget bronzer, I think that it could be a decent choice. If you don't have a whole lot of selections for bronzer and you're just looking for something to use every once in a while just to kind of help make you look a little sun-kissed, I think it could work fine. It's not a bronzer that I'm going to add to the rotation of my collection. The highlighter, I didn't think I liked the highlighter. All day long, every time I have walked by a mirror, I have seen this gorgeous sheen, and it kind of reminds me of Becca Opal. It's a little bit lighter, kind of a little bit of a pearlescent type glow to it, but it is beautiful and it has lasted, and I really like it. And if you are looking for a budget highlighter, I think that could be a really great choice for you. This is the highlighter that I used as a blush, and it didn't show up too much on me, but it's a highlighter. I just saw that pink color and I thought, well, I have fair skin, that might look great as a blush, and it really didn't. I do think it would be a pretty highlighter if you have a lighter skin tone, and I'm gonna try that next time I use this. I will put it on as a highlighter. I do recommend scraping off that top layer of it because you won't get a whole lot of pigmentation unless you do. I don't have anything like this in my collection, so I think it will be an interesting addition to add to my highlighters, and I'm looking forward to using it as a highlighter. I will let you know probably in another video what I think of it as a highlighter. The brushes that I used for the blush, this is the e.l.f. Angled Blush Brush. This is an excellent brush. I really like it a lot. They are soft, they are dense, they pick up pigment very well. I think that if you are looking for some budget brushes, that the e.l.f. brushes could be a great addition to your collection. This is a bestseller. It is the e.l.f. highlighting brush, and thousands of people love this brush. I can see why. It doesn't pick up too much pigment. Sometimes you don't want that blinding highlight, and this is perfect for adding a small amount of product on your cheekbone and not going overboard, and I can understand why so many people love it. I can see myself using this quite a bit in the future. Lipstick. I love this lipstick. This is the Touch of Pink, and if you like a hydrating, creamy, just kind of a silky consistency for a lipstick, this is amazing. I can see myself reaching for this all the time. It is perfect if you just want a wash of color. You don't even need to apply this with a mirror. It's pretty much impossible to screw up because it is such a nice light color. So if you are looking for just a real easy lipstick that you can just throw on, let's say you got to run to your kids' school because they forgot their lunch, this is great. Or you just want to put on a wash of color while you go run to the grocery store. Incredible. It lasts not very long. I have to reapply this probably every 2 hours, so the pigmentation isn't going to last a long time on you, but I'm okay with that because it's so nice to apply. It's just so moisturizing and comfortable, and it just feels like I have a lip balm on, to be honest. So I think out of all these products, this might be one of my favorites, and I have a feeling I'm going to be using this a lot over the next few months, especially since it's winter here, and I really love having a more hydrating formula during the winter. The lip gloss. Again, incredible. I'm so impressed by e.l.f.'s lip products. It's not too sticky, and I love that it's clear. You know, sometimes you put on a coral colored lipstick and then you want to put a lip gloss on, but all you can find is a pink one, and you don't really want to ruin that color because it matches everything that you're wearing. Well, this is perfect because it's clear colored, so it's not going to add any color to the pigment that's already on your lips. It is not sticky. I did not find that my hair was sticking in it. It just felt very comfortable, very hydrating. And I really enjoy this. So I think I'm probably going to go buy several of these. I will probably put one in my purse, put one in my makeup bag, and then keep one in my vanity just so I have these available all the time. And they're so inexpensive, $2. So to me, this is also one of the great finds, and I'm really excited to have this and just grab several of them and just put them everywhere so that I always have them available. So my overall thoughts on e.l.f. is it is a quality product. If you are looking for something that is less expensive, I spent $25 and I bought so much stuff. They do half off sales every once in a while. If you want to pick up a bunch of their products, I recommend waiting till they have a half off sale. You'll need to probably reach that $25 shipping limit, or they do free shipping all the time. So if you just want to pick up 1 or 2 items, then you can do that full price, but free shipping. So, and their items are just so reasonably priced that even at full price, you're not ever going to break the bank with these. So as far as a quality, inexpensive product, I don't think you can go wrong with e.l.f. I think it's worth trying. Some of their products were a bit of a dud, like the finishing powder, not too impressed with. And then pigmentation on the bronzer, not too impressed with. So not everything is just going to be a fabulous find, but let's face it, even with high-end brands, you know, sometimes they're hit or miss as well. So given the price point, I think if you have never tried e.l.f. before, you know, run by Walmart, run by Walgreens, run by whoever carries it, pick some up, see what you think. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and let me know. And I just want to thank you for being here with me today, and I hope to see you all again soon. Bye-bye.